A shalom to the hopeful elect. First and foremost, I'd like to give all honor, praises, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Rachakodash. Double honors to the apostles, bishops, and elders at Great Millstone who teach the truth and rule well. This is Brother Yatabia Wa'ala coming back from the GMS SF Bay Area camp. And I got a quick lesson today. All right, Lord's will is edifying. But just going into the mind frame of the heathen, all right, and how they have this agenda, so to speak, all right, to keep us in this dumbed down state. That's why the society is set up in the way it is. You know, primarily Esau. You know, he's in rulership right now, but he's always had this mindset. All right, they understand. You know, when we're still on the scene, all right, when there's Israelites left, and if our power is dealing with us, you know, then the kingdom is ours. All right. But if they keep us in a dumbed down state, or if they ultimately do away with us, they can keep their societies, their wicked societies, flourishing or continuing. All right, this is their mindset. This is why the scriptures say in Sirach, the 12th chapter, that we are to never trust our enemy. All these heathen are our enemy. We can't be in a society where we're equal. All right, we can't be in a society where, you know, we're to flourish together. All right. Hey, these heathen are in need of subjection, and we're in need of rulership. All right. For the earth to thrive. Okay. But again, the mind frame of the heathen is to keep us dumbed down, you know, keep us at odds with our power, or to do away with us. All right. And I wanted to start with this. This is in the additions to Esther. All right. Chapter 13. And this is why the Apocrypha is so important, because it shows you the way they think. All right, just an example of the way they think. And this is, if you're familiar with the book of Esther, you know, it goes into the story of Mordecai and Haman, and how Haman tried to do away with, you know, the Israelites at that time, okay, or the Jews, the southern kingdom, okay, in the Medo-Persian captivity. Okay, now this is just a copy of the letter that Xerxes wrote, and I wanted to read it to show you that this is the mind frame of Esau, and it's nothing changed. All right, real quick, Genesis chapter 27:41, and it says, "And Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing wherewith his father blessed him. And Esau said in his heart, the days of mourning for my father at hand, then will I slay my brother Jacob." Okay, and again, when you read up, you see the blessings that Esau got, you see the blessings that Jacob got, and really, you know, this is how the Lord set it up. But Esau has it in his mindset that he can get his blessing back, he can get his inheritance back if he does away with Jacob or the Israelites. All right, and this is his mind frame that he's kept throughout all generations, even to this day. He has that same hatred. All right, he's that same upright spirit, or slack, that same not upright spirit, as it says in Habakkuk, the 2nd chapter, and he has that mentality that he wants to kill us. Okay. Now again, when we read this, I'll start from the top. This is the additions of Esther, chapter 13, verse 1. It says, "The copy of the letter was this: the great king Artaxerxes writeth these things to the princes and governors that are under him, from India unto Ethiopia, in 107 and 20 provinces. After that I became Lord over many nations, and had dominion over the whole earth, not lifted up with presumption of my authority, but carrying myself always with equity and mildness. I propose to settle my subjects continually in a quiet life, and making my kingdom peaceable, and open for passage to the utmost coast, to renew peace, which is desired by all men." And see, the thing you got to understand here is, you know, this might sound nice, but the way the heathen run things is not right. It's not right with the Lord, and it's ultimately not right with the earth. All right, they set up abomination. You can eat abominable foods. You participate in abominable acts. All right, you can ultimately participate in idolatry, because they have so many different gods, which is not how you're supposed to run a kingdom. All right, because ultimately what happens, it pollutes everything. It says, "Now when I asked my counselors how this might be brought to pass, Haman, that excelled in wisdom among us, and was approved for his constant goodwill and steadfast fidelity, and had the honor of the second place in the kingdom." And Haman, if you're unfamiliar, is an Edomite, all right, a Macedonian. who happens to be in, a great authority in this Persian kingdom at this time. It says, declared unto us that in all nations throughout the world there was a certain malicious people that had laws contrary to all nations, and continually despised the commandments of kings, so that as the uniting of our kingdoms honorably intended by us cannot go forward. So Jake is the issue. All right, but he's right. So Esau has in his mindset that because Jake is here, and because our laws are different from his, our power is with us and not with them. Well, what? Their kingdoms cannot go forward. Okay? So what did they want to do? And it's going to go into it. They want to do away with us. All right? It says, and this is exactly the same mindset that Esau has today. This is why he's setting up this whole beast system. All right? He's setting up the MOTB, because he wants what? He wants the Israelites to worship him. All right? To basically accept that electronic oil, to accept Esau as our master forever. But what? The elect is not going to do that. All right? The elect are not going to partake in that. And ultimately, the ones that don't take it, he's going to try and what? Kill. But see, he's not going to be able to do it. All right? The scriptures talk about, the saving of the elect, and the elect not being partakers or not bowing down to the image of Baal. All right? But see, this is the same mentality. It says, seeing then we understand that this people alone is continually in opposition unto all men, differing in the strange manner of their laws and evil affected to our state, working all the mischief they can that our kingdom may not be firmly established. See? So again, Jake is the issue. As long as we're here, all right, it's going to be an issue for these heathen, because they're not going to be able to flourish fully. All right? Because ultimately what? The kingdom, when we are right in good standards, so to speak, with our power, then we come to power. All right? And I'm going to get it in the book of Judith that explains that. And this is the last kingdom to rule, because we're going to, Yahushua is going to come back. Lord's will would be of that number to be saved. He's going to establish the kingdom. And we're going to have the bodies to be able to rule forever. And Esau, he wants his kingdom to go on. He wants this wicked, abominable, defiled kingdom to be continual forever. So again, he has the same mindset. It says, therefore have we commanded that all they that are signified in writing unto you by Heathen, who is ordained over the affairs and is next unto us, shall all with their wives and children be utterly destroyed by the swords of their enemies, without all mercy and pity, the 14th day of the 12th month Adar of this present year. So this was the proclamation that went out. And again, you could read this in the book of Esther. It says that they who of old and now also are malicious may in one day with violence go into the grave, and so ever hereafter cause our affairs to be well settled and without trouble. So this is how the heathen think, all right? And primarily Esau, Edom. This was Haman, all right, who came up with this counsel to do away with Jake, all right, so they can be what? So their kingdom can flourish. Hey, this is nothing new under the sun. The Egyptians tried to do the same thing when they killed all the firstborns, all right? They also did it, constantly throughout the whole scriptures. When we were at war with all these nations, they wanted to do away with us. All right, because what? Again, when we're in good graces with our power, these heathen get put into subjection. All right. So we're reading here that Haman, all right, wanted to put all the Israelites to death. And again, when you read the whole story, the Lord hears the prayers of the Israelites. He hears the prayers of the southern kingdom. All right, here's the prayers of Esther, and Haman ends up being put to death. And this whole proclamation, this letter that went out, didn't succeed. Okay, but again, this shows you the mind frame of the heathen, and primarily Esau, Edom. Now I wanted to jump here straight to the point, and it says, actually, let me just start from the top just to get the backstory. It says, then was all it declared, Judah chapter 5, then was it declared to Holofernes, the chief captain of the army of Ashur, that the children of Israel had prepared for war and had shut up the passages of the hill country, and had fortified all the tops of the high hills, and had laid impediments in the champion countries. Wherewith he was very angry, and called all the princes of Moab, and the captains of Ammon, and all the governors of the sea coast. And he said unto them, Tell me now, ye sons of Canaan, who this people is that dwelleth in the hill country, and what are the cities that they inhabit, and what is the multitude of their army, and wherein is their power and strength, and what king is set over them, or captain of their army? And why have they determined not to come and meet me more than all the inhabitants of the west? Jake wasn't with all these heathen, all right? All these heathen want to establish something, but hey, we understand that there's only one true rulers in this earth. Okay, these heathen aren't meant to rule. It says, Then said Achior, the captain of the sons of Ammon, it says, like Ammon, it says, let my Lord now hear a word from the mouth of thy servant, and I will declare unto thee the truth concerning this people which dwelleth near thee, and inhabiteth the hill countries, and there shall no lie come out of the mouth of thy servant. This people are descended of the Chaldeans, and they sojourn heretofore in Mesopotamia, because they would not follow the gods of their fathers which were in the land of Chaldea. For they left the way of their ancestors and worshipped the God of heaven, the God whom they knew. So they cast them out from the face of the gods, and they fled unto Mesopotamia and sojourned there many days. So we had to leave. All right, the time of Abraham. All right, what happened? We had to leave all those. He had to leave all those that idol. All right, all the idols of our forefathers. It says then their God commanded them to depart from the place where they sojourned, and to go into the land of Canaan, where they dwelt, and were increased with gold and silver, and with very much cattle. But when a famine covered all the land of Canaan, they went down into Egypt and sojourned there, while they were nourished, and became there a great multitude, so that one could not number their nation. Therefore the kingdom of Egypt rose up against them, and dealt subtly with them, and brought them low with laboring and brick, and made them slaves. Because we were flourishing. And again, when you read the story in that time, they got scared because we were becoming so great in the land of Egypt. So they put us in slavery. It says, Therefore the kingdom of Egypt rose up against them, and dealt subtly with them, and brought them low with laboring and brick, and made them slaves. Then they cried unto their power, and he smote all the land of Egypt with incurable plagues, so the Egyptians cast them out of their sight. And the Most High dried the Red Sea before them, and brought them to Mount Sinai and Cades Barnea, and cast forth all that dwelt in the wilderness. So they dwelt in the land of the Amorites, and they destroyed by their strength all them of Esabon, and passing over Jordan, they possessed all the hill country. And they cast forth before them the Canaanite, the Perizzite, the Jebusite, and the Sychemite, and all the Girgashites, and they that dwelt in the countries many days. And whilst they sinned not before their power, they prospered, because the Most High that hateth iniquity was with them. But when they departed from the way which he appointed them, they were destroyed in many battles very sore, and were led captives into a land that was not theirs, and the temple of their power was cast to the ground, and their cities were taken by the enemies. All right, so again, they understood what? When the Lord is with us, when we listen, all right, when we're doing what we're supposed to, our power, Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua, is with us. Verse 19, But now are they returned to their power, and are come up from the places where they are scattered, and have possessed Jerusalem, where the sanctuary is, and are seated in the hill country, for it was desolate. Now therefore, my Lord and Governor, if there be any error in this people, and they sin against their power, let us consider that this shall be their ruin, and let us go up, and we shall overcome them. But if there be no iniquity in their nation, let my Lord now pass by, lest their Lord defend them, and their power before them, and we become a reproach before all the world. All right, and this is the point. So these heathen understand that when our power is on our side, when we're doing what we're supposed to, nobody can come against us. All right, nobody can come against us. But when we're not in league with our power, then what? We go into captivity. All right. So again, when we read that in the editions of Esther, all right, we were in that captivity, meaning what? We weren't at one with our power at that time, because we had went off. Haman understood that if we had the chance to, all right, we could become a power again. So what did he want to do? He wanted to do away with us. But again, we started turning back to our power. You had the prayers of Mordecai, you had the prayers of the Israelites, all right? And they were, even though that they were in captivity, they were still doing the best that they could, and the Lord was on our side. All right? That's why, hence, the story is so important, because it shows that these heathen weren't able to succeed. All right? Now, let me jump over here, Psalms 83, because this is what they did to us. Understanding that if we're not in league with our power, what happens? Well, we go into slavery. They keep us as captives, and they get to rule. All right? This is Psalms 83:1. Keep not thou silence, O power. Hold not thy peace, and be not still, O power. For lo, thine enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people, and consulted against thy hidden ones. And this is crafty. This is by design. All right? How they have us in the positions that they have us in. How ultimately they want to kill us, going into this last little hoorah that Esau is going to push forth. All right? Again, Revelation 12th chapter. But this is what they think. This is how they go plot. All right? It says, they have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. This is how far they have to go. And this is what they did. All right, you go into the transatlantic slave trade. What happened? We had our heritage beat from us. And who had the biggest hand in it? Esau, Edom. Even though all these different heathen nations participated in it, the main one was Esau, Edom. All right, and he beat our heritage. He beat the heritage out of us. All right, but again, through the grace and spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, this knowledge was given back to us. It says that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance, for they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee. The tabernacles of Edom and the Ishmaelites of Moab and the Hagarenes, Gebal and Ammon and Amalek, the Philistines with the inhabitants of Tyre. Ashur also is joined with them. They have hope in the children of Lot, Selah. So this is their mind frame. Again, keep us in separation to our power. Beat our heritage out of us, and then what? Set up a society that goes contrary to our power. That we're constantly in sin, constantly at odds with our power. All right? And then ultimately kill us. Kill all of us. If they could, that's what they would do. So again, we're not to have any leagues with the heathen. We're not to set up a society with the heathen, because this is what they always have in their mind. All right? To do away with us. Okay? Psalms 2:1, it says, why did the heathen rage and the people imagine a vain thing? The kings of the earth set themselves, and the rulers take counsel together against the Lord and against his anointed, saying, let us break their bands asunder and cast away their cords from us. He that sitteth in the heavens shall laugh, the Lord shall have them in derision. And this is what they want to do. All right? This is their vain thing, that they could ultimately keep their grip on power forever. All right? They what did it say? It says, let us break their bands asunder and cast away their cords from us. They don't want to go into slavery. They don't want our power, all right, in league with us, because what happens to them? They get put into captivity. All right? But what does it say? It says, he that sitteth in the heavens shall laugh, the Lord shall have them in derision. Then he shall speak unto them in his wrath, and vex them in his sore displeasure. Yet have I set my king upon my holy hill of Zion. I will declare the decree. The Lord hath said unto me, thou art my son, this day have I begotten thee. Ask of me, and I shall give thee the heathen for thine inheritance, and the uttermost parts of the earth for thy possession. The true rulership, all right, true kingdom, all right, or governance of the earth belongs to Yasharallah, starting with Yahushai and the elect. All right, so again, the Lord is going to upset this man, Esau, Edom, especially at this time, even though he thinks he's going to get away with it. Scriptures talk about how they believe that their houses are going to continue forever because he set up this society, and ultimately he's going to be able to kill Jake. Well, the Lord is going to upset that thought. All right, and he's going to establish Yahushai and the elect and the whole kingdom of Yasharallah. All right. It says, ask of me, and I shall give thee the heathen for thine inheritance, and the uttermost parts of the earth for thy possession. Thou shalt break them with the rod of iron. Thou shalt dash them in pieces like a potter's vessel. Be wise now, therefore, ye kings. Be instructed, ye judges of the earth. Serve the Lord Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai with fear, and rejoice with trembling. Kiss the Son, lest he be angry, and you perish from the way, when his wrath is kindled but a little. Blessed are all they that put their trust in him. All right, so these heathen are going to be put into subjection. All right, but nonetheless, this is their thought. This is their thought process. All right, that they could keep us in this dumbed down state, and ultimately that they can kill us. All right, Psalm 64:1. Hear my voice, O power, and my prayer is a psalm of David. Preserve my life from fear of the enemy. Hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked, from the insurrection of the workers of iniquity, who whet their tongue like a sword and bend their bows to shoot their arrows, even bitter words, that they may shoot in secret at the perfect. Suddenly do they shoot at him and fear not. They encourage themselves in an evil matter. They commune in laying snares privily. They say, who shall see them? And this is what they do. All right, this is their evil matter. This is their laying a snare, setting up a system that goes contrary to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. All right, and ultimately that evil matter is what? That they're going to push this MOTB. That they're going to be able to fully enslave Jake, and those who aren't, who they can't enslave, they're going to be able to kill off. This is their thought process. All right, it says they search out iniquities, they accomplish a diligent search, both the inward thought of every one of them, and their heart is deep. But the Most High shall shoot at them with an arrow. Suddenly shall they be wounded. So they shall make their own tongue to fall upon themselves. All that see them shall flee away. And all men shall fear and shall declare the work of the Most High, for they shall wisely consider of his doing. The righteous shall be glad in the Lord and shall trust in him, and all the upright in heart shall glory. And that's the point. Ultimately, Esau is going to be taken out of power. This place, America, is going to be destroyed with thermonuclear fire. And all the heathen, starting with Esau, Edom, and his top tribe, Amalek, the elites, are going to go into slavery. All right, so these plans that the elite have, these plans that all the heathen have, confederate together, like we read in Psalms, the 83rd chapter, it's all going to come to naught. Okay, just like how it did we read in Esther. All right, or we didn't read it, but we read their thought process in the chapter 13, the edition of Esther. But as you read in the book of Esther, all right, it came to naught. That plan came to naught. Ultimately, Haman, he was put on a stake that he had planned to put Mordecai on. All right, just like that, the Lord is gonna the mind frame that they have to enslave us. All right, is gonna be put on them. Okay, and I'll end off on this. This is Job 5 in straight to the point. Verse 12, it says, he disappointeth the devices of the crafty, so that their hands cannot perform their enterprise. And this shows you that the Lord is in full control. Just like if you read in the book of Esther, the Lord upset these heathens' plans. All right, they weren't able to perform their enterprise. It says, he taketh the wise in their own craftiness, and the counsel of the forward is carried headlong. And this is what's happening right now. All right, their counsel is being rushed. All these things are being rushed. All right, the plan of Esau is being rushed. Well, he has but a short time. All right, they meet with darkness in the daytime and grope in the noonday as in night. But he saveth the poor from the sword, from their mouth, and from the hand of the mighty. So the poor hath hope, and iniquity stoppeth her mouth. All right, and that's the point. The Israelites have hope, and primarily the elect, because that's who's going to be saved from this plan that Esau and all these heathen have together. All right, the plan that they have, that their kingdom's going to go on forever, that they're going to flourish. All right, that they're going to have a so-called peaceful kingdom in their eyes. All right, that's all going to become to naught. All right, the Lord's going to disappoint this man, especially Esau, Edom, and he's going to establish the elect. All right, starting with Yahushai and the whole nation of Israel. All right, and then the earth is going to go into true rulership and true righteousness. Okay, hey, Lord's will, this is edifying. Once again, I want to give all honor, praises, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahushai, Bahashim Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles, bishops, and elders at Great Millstone. Shalom to the elect, and above.